Good morning students, Sairam. Let us continue with the next part of EVS 1 lesson number 8, the value of food. Children, in the last video we saw about how the steps, what are the steps which are involved in farming. We saw about plowing, we saw about sowing, we saw about harvesting, we saw about threshing and winnowing. Okay, threshing and winnowing, we saw how it is done with machines and how it is done without machines. Now what are the further steps after threshing and winnowing that we are going to see in today's video. So let us start by learning the new words. Here comes your new word. First word is traders, traders. Now traders are those people who buy and sell things for money. It can be goods, like it can be grains, it can be food grains, it can be end number of things which can be bought and sold for money purpose. Okay, so traders are those people. Now what next one is porters, porters. Now porters are those people who carry heavy luggage from one place to another. These people are called as porters. Okay, those who carry luggage on their back. Third one is provision, provision, stores, stores, provision stores. Now provision stores are shops in which you get everything available for your daily needs, from food grains, from snack items, from soaps, from everything whatever you require in your daily life you get in these shops. So like general stores where you buy your toothpaste, your various kinds of soaps, food grains, bread, everything wherever it is in that shop is available, that is known as provision stores. Provision stores means those things which are necessary and important in your daily life, you get it in those stores. Fourth one is milled. Milled means to break or to make a powder of some big thing, and then you make a powder. Suppose if I tell you wheat, first we buy the wheat from the shop and then we give it in the flour mill, that is also called as chakki in Hindi, and there in that machine they put that wheat and then it comes out in a fine powder, that is known as milled. Milled means to crush down into small not pieces, but you can say into fine particles, that is called as milled. And the last one kneaded. Kneaded means to massage and squeeze and mix with water, that is we are talking about here about flour, that is a dough of wheat. So what you do, you first take the flour and then you mix the water and then you massage the dough very very properly, and then you mix in some oil and then you get a lovely soft dough out of it from which you prepare chapatis. Okay, so that is called kneaded. When you massage or you squeeze something, that is called kneaded. Now what steps are involved after winnowing and threshing? As I told you, winnowing is done, threshing is done, plowing is done, sowing is done, harvesting is done. What next? Now what does the farmer do of those grains which are threshed and winnowed and it is ready? What do the farmers do? The grain obtained after winnowing is filled in sacks. Yes, the farmer fills the grains in sacks. Those are called as gunny bags. Can you see the farmer is filling the grains in bags, and there are so many gunny bags. There are so many sacks in which grains are there, which is ready. After filling it in the bag, proper care is taken to make sure that it will not be attacked by insects or other pests such as mice and rats. Now there are so many bags, so the farmer he prepares one separate room, you can say, called as storeroom, where the bags are kept in a safe place. The room is locked, and also the room should be cleaned and dry. If the room is wet or something, then immediately the grains will get spoiled. So proper clean storage room is prepared for the grains, the sacks of grains to be stored in that particular grain. And medicines are sprayed, such as insecticides and pesticides, so that it don't get attacked by mice, by rats or some other insects. So that room is properly prepared for the storage of sacks of grains. Okay, after putting aside some grain for the family, now what happens? The farmer grows crops. What he does not uses all the grain which he has grown. Some of it he keeps it for himself, that is for his family, and the remaining part, a major part, he sells it in the marketplace, from which he gets some amount of money. Okay, so the farmer, what does he do? He divides the grains, ready grains, into two parts. One part he keeps aside for his family and for himself, and the remaining part, that is a major part, he sells it in the market, from which he gets money. Okay, see here the farmer is taking the sack of grains in a bullock cart, and now he is going to the marketplace to sell these sacks of grains. When the traders there buy the grain, the farmer gets money for the crop that he has grown. Yes, now when he goes in when the farmer goes in the market to sell these grains, the farmer gets some amount of money for the crop that he has grown. So the traders, those are the people who want to buy crops from that particular farmer. They get money for that particular crop. So the farmer goes in the market, there the traders buy, and then the farmer gets money in return of those crops. The grain that the traders buy is sold all over the country. Okay, now the grain which the farmer has sold in the market and which the trader has bought from him, which the trader has taken from the farmer, the traders then transport it to all parts of the country wherever he wants to sell. Now the traders sell it in the shop from where we buy. Okay, we don't directly buy from the trader. They take the grains in wholesale amount. They take it in huge quantity, and then the shopkeepers take it from those traders, and then we buy it from the shop. It is transported. Now how are these grains transported? It is transported by means of trucks and goods train. Okay, a special train is arranged for the goods to take from one place to another, and that is called as goods train. It is also called as mal gadi in Hindi. Okay, and then trucks, these are the trucks which carry grains from one place to another. So trucks and goods trains are arranged for the transportation of grains from one place to another. And then it is the turn of the porters and truck drivers to put in their labor. Why? If the grain is transported in truck, the truck drivers and few people with him, they help the truck drivers to load the grain in the truck and unload it, means to carry it in the truck, to fill it in the truck, and then again to put it down and take it to the required place. Again, if it is in the trains, then what do the porters, those are the people who carry luggage on their back, those people help with the goods train, that is, those are called as porters. Transport costs a lot too. Yes, from grains and crops are grown in the village. From village it is taken to towns and cities. So a lot of distance has to be travelled. For that, what is it cost? It is very, very expensive, because you have to give the truck drivers the money for their transport, for the diesel, for the fuel, whatever they are using, for the trains also. So a lot of money is involved in transportation. The sacks of grain reach the provision stores, and finally the sacks of grains are they are bought by the shopkeepers, that is the provision stores. They are also known as general stores, and from there we buy those grains. People buy the grains from there. Those people means we, from where we buy this wheat, from where we buy these rice, dal and all, we buy it from the shopkeeper, that is from the provision stores. They sort out the stones and rubbish. Now when we buy it from them, we have to first clean it, because maybe there are some stones or maybe there is some rubbish, not too much, but we have to first clean it. Okay, we have to first clean the grain, and they get it milled into flour. And then suppose here we are talking about wheat. So first we will buy wheat from the provision store. then we will come home and clean it, and after cleaning it we will give it to mill in the flour, that is the flour mill, that is also called a chakki. See, this is the general store, that is the provision store from where we buy grains. Okay, and then you have to clean it. When you bring it in the home, when you bring it in the house, you have to clean it, and then you have to give it in the flour mill to make a fine powder of it, and then with the help of that powder you make a dough out of it, from which you make chapatis or bhakri. See, while cooking the flour, now what are the steps in cooking? Now this is not the end. While cooking, the flour is kneaded into lumps. See, the flour means the powder of the wheat is mixed with water and some amount of oil, and it is made into a soft dough. The lumps are then flattened into bhakri or roti and then roasted. See, first you will knead the dough, means you will massage the dough with water and oil, and then you will get a soft dough out of it. After getting the dough, you will make small balls out of it, and then you are going to roll chapatis. Okay, and then you are going to roast chapatis. So see, just to get one chapati on your plate is not an easy task. There is so much of efforts and hard work of number of people involved in it. So is that clear? So what are you going to take care of? We spend fuel too. Fuel means on vehicles for transporting fuel is also spent. And thus at the end of all this, the bhakri or roti appears on your plate. And that is the final step when you get to eat the bhakri or roti which is served in your plate. And have you imagined before that so much procedures and so much hard work of so many people are involved in getting this chapati or bhakri? Not only we are talking chapati, bhakri, but all the vegetables, all the dals, whichever we eat in our daily food items have gone through so many steps. And what you will do, you will now, would it be right to waste food that we get through the efforts of so many people? Yes, this is a question mark, a big question mark for you. Now thereafter, wasting food will be a big question mark for you. Even one piece of chapati or one piece of roti or bhakri, when you are going to waste, you are going to remember all these things which I told you. You are going to remember those, especially the farmer, the bullocks, the people who were involved in transporting the grains from one place to another, then bringing it to the shop, then buying it, then also thinking of your mother who is preparing the roti and chapati for you. That is not enough. So always remember the efforts of so many people, the cost, the money involved in this. And please, a humble request to all of you that do not waste food at all. Not only chapati or bhakri, but whatever you eat, whatever your mother serves in your plate, you should always finish it all. So don't waste food. That is what I want to tell you. And because why, that is all, that reason also you know now very well. Okay, now I hope you have understood today's video. I hope you enjoyed, you were surprised, you were shocked, listening to all those steps which are involved in transportation of grains. And thank you for listening to me carefully. Goodbye, take care.